Influencers, the illustrious, coveted creatures of the internet. They are the holy grail of marketing your business. Get the right influencer, the right internet celebrity to recommend your product, and you get exposed to millions of new people in an instant. Get the right mid-size influencer who has a very strong and active following to talk about your product, and you get his followers' trust immediately, no questions asked. And this is why influencer marketing is one of the most popular ways to market any type of business nowadays. It's the new type of TV commercials. It's the new form of seeing a celebrity drinking of your favorite drink in a TV show or something like that. And for that reason, influencer marketing can be very expensive. It is not easy when you're first starting out to find the right influencer to talk about your product and actually make this profitable. Because when you talk about influencer marketing, most of the times people think about the big influencers, huge influencers with millions of followers, and it costs a lot of money to get someone like this to post about your product. Plus, they probably get so many offers every single day that it gets a little difficult to be on top if they don't already know your name and your brand. Not to mention that when you first start, you don't have the money to pay them either way, even if they agree to work with you. This is not necessarily the place to spend your money in the beginning. So, in this video, I have the solution to all of your problems. And the solution is our influencer marketing methodology that we've used twice now on 2 different products and 2 different businesses, and actually had success in both. So the first time when we had a Shopify store selling a product that was really cool and had a viral potential, we used influencers to market it, and we actually got sales from them, and each one we worked with was profitable. And the second one is right now with FreeConvert, where we've been launching in the past 2-3 months a campaign to work with different influencers in the Shopify and e-commerce space, and it's been working really well as well. Now, you might not hear about us in the huge YouTube channels, but we have a different strategy. We have the low-cost influencer marketing strategy. And just like with flying, why would you go for the expensive option when you have a low-cost option that works just as well? So, without further ado, the goal of the low-cost influencer marketing strategy is to make it cheap and affordable for businesses just starting out, and to make it streamlined and as automatic as possible to make sure that you don't get stuck in different parts, because you have a clear playbook of what you need to do next in every single part. So this is a 6 steps strategy because everything in life is divided into steps, and we like steps. So the first step is to define, because if you do not define your budget, influencer type, etc., then you go into the influencer with a blank space and you let them determine the rules and determine the actual process of how things will work. You want to make sure that you define the terms, because if you don't define anything, then you come in with a blank space, and in this blank space the influencer can set the terms and define how things will work. You don't want that to happen. You want to be the one setting the terms and setting the tone for what you will or will not do, so you don't pay over. Don't just ask an open-ended question of how much money do you want? You might want to come with some idea before you ask this question. So what do you need to define? The goal, the budget, and the niche/platform. Let's give an example from the marketing campaign we just ran, which is to get installs for influencers talking about Shopify on TikTok for free or for an affiliate commission. So when you break it down, the goal is to get installs for the app for Reconvert. The budget is for free or for an affiliate commission, meaning either they will agree to post about us for free or they will work on an affiliate commission where we usually give 20% lifetime commission, sometimes a little more. And the niche is influencers talking about Shopify on TikTok. We decided to start on TikTok for many reasons, doesn't really matter right now, but you decide the platform you want to start on and that's where you focus. So when you look in this definition, specifically the budget part, forces us to go into a pretty specific range of influencers, the nano and micro influencers. And in our case, we decided to set the influencers we're looking for anywhere between 5,000 and 20,000 followers. Any more might be too expensive, any less might not be effective, but we were open to it if opportunities came along with different ranges as well. So now we have a clear definition of what we want to happen. Let's move on to the second step, and that is research. You want to research the influencers that fit the bill. So what you want to do is first of all, create a Google Sheets, because I feel like all the videos I filmed today talk about Google Sheets, but it's one of the best ways to track different outreach and things that you're trying out. So in our case, we were looking for influencers talking about Shopify. The first thing we did was go into TikTok and look for the Shopify hashtag, and then going to the videos of the people talking about Shopify and seeing what is their account about. Are they relevant for what we're looking to do, or is this a one-off thing where they talked about Shopify? Don't know. So we would check this out and we would put them in the Google Sheet with all of their details. Ideally, try to find other platforms that they have. Are they also on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook? Do they have a website? Whatever it is, write it down as well and write down how many followers they have for each platform. So you want to know the platforms, the audience sizes, the topics they talk about, their email, their website, etc. Any relevant information would work here. But with all due respect to number of followers, super important is to look at engagement, because number of followers, followers can be bought. Look into the actual videos or posts that they create. Do they have comments and likes? How many compared to the number of followers that they have? Do they get good engagement or not? Because this would be a better indicator of how many people would actually be engaged in the content that they create about you than how many followers they have. That doesn't necessarily indicate anything. In this step, try to accumulate as many influencers as possible. Like, I'm talking dozens of influencers in one Google Sheet. Try to find as many as you can that fit the bill for your search. And the reason why would be in the next step. Because the third step is to outreach. This is the exciting part. This is where you actually message the people that you've collected. Now, why do we want as many as possible? Take into account that your response rate might be really low. You might get like 2% of the people you actually writing you back. So you want to make sure that you have as many people as possible, cast a wide net, so that even if only 2% respond, you have enough people to work with and to actually start a campaign with. There are a few rules to outreach. The first and most important one is to test. Always test. What can you test about outreach? The message, of course. Test out different message types and see where you get the best response rate. Actually track how many influencers you sent this type, how many influencers you sent this type to, and where did you get the most response? Like, where did you get the most responses? What was the best response rate? This can be things like sending out a short personal message, or sending out something with a little more details, already telling the person about the kind of collaboration that you want to do. This could be about sending it out for Instagram or for email. There's a lot of different options, but always test and see what works best for you. Because what works best for me doesn't necessarily fit the same category for you. So figure it out for yourself and always test. Next is the platform. You want to make sure that you actually reach out to the influencer in their main platform if possible. For example, in TikTok, you can't really DM people. So we reached out for Instagram whenever we could, because that was the most natural thing to do for TikTok. Most people who are in TikTok also have an Instagram. So we did that. But if that didn't work, we moved on to either Facebook chat or an email. But if that didn't work and we didn't have a way to do that, or we didn't get a reply, we would move on to another platform like emails. There's really a lot of playing you can do here. This is one of the reasons why you want to have a few of their platforms, so that you can reach out to them in a few different platforms to figure out the one where they actually read messages. Lastly is follow up, and it kind of relates to the platform part. You want to follow up. Don't just send one message and if they don't reply, give up. Follow up after a few days. Ask them if they're interested, kind of bump this up in their inbox, and if they still didn't reply, wait a few more days and try another platform. Do not spam them. Do not send them daily messages saying, hey, did you read? Hello, how you there? Hey, don't do that. That's annoying. Maybe they read it and they are not interested and they just decided not to reply. That's fine. But maybe they didn't read it, which is also fine. So you should follow up, but don't spam people. Wait a few days, send another message. Wait a few more days, send an email. Wait a few more days, send another email, and then maybe you can give yourself a week or two to try again. But don't overwhelm them, and accept that a lot of people are not going to answer. Don't get mad about it. Don't get offended. Don't be aggressive or rude about it, because it will happen. Important, before I move on to the next step, do not forget to update your file with your messages to them and if they responded. What I like to do is create a notes section where I write down the date what I wrote, and when they replied, I would write again the date, what they answered, so that way I have a continuous view of where the conversation is standing, and I never am left guessing in case the influencer disappears and comes back after a few weeks. Step number 4 is to negotiate. So out of the people you messaged, a few answered back, and now you can negotiate with them. Some of them are going to be okay with the terms that you offered. Great, you can move forward to the next step with these people. But some of them are going to ask for a little bit more. And that's okay, that's not a deal breaker. You have to think about a few things. First of all, is this priced reasonably? Just because an influencer asked for a specific amount doesn't mean this influencer is worth the amount. Because influencer marketing is so popular right now, a lot of them kind of think that they can just throw a number into the air, and that makes sense because they're an influencer. But you as the business owner can take this opportunity to kind of show them what you're actually looking for. Show them your set of considerations. For example, let's say an influencer asks for $1,000 upfront. I can ask this influencer, okay, can you send me some data about past brands that are similar to me that you've worked with? Can you let me know what your click-through rate was for them, how many clicks you generated, for how many views, and if you have data about how many actual customer acquisition, installs, sign-ups, whatever it is, they managed to get through you, that would be great too. A lot of the times, these influencers are not going to have this data, but it would help them understand that you are not just going to throw money away at them because they asked for it. You have some business decisions to make here that are based on the ROI, and then you might be able to negotiate with them a little more easily because they understand that just because they have an audience doesn't mean that they have the value that they think they do for you. And if you take the time to show them where you stand, what the value you're looking for is, it would help them see where the gap is between the followers that they have and the actual value for the business that they are working with. And then you can kind of negotiate from this place until you get to the middle point where you're both happy with the solution. You want to plan for the long term. Talk to the influencer and let them know that this is just a first step for you. If this works out, if you get good results, you want to continue working with them and you want to do more promotions with them, pay them more. So just start out with an affiliate commission or a lower sum that you can pay to check things out. If it works well, great, let's work together for the long term. Also, if you agreed on payment, only pay 50% upfront. Now, some influencers are not gonna like it, but if they intend on following up on the commitment, then all the risk should not be on your side. We've had issues with past influencers where we would send them a product for free and they just didn't do the video or the post. We just lost the product. And we learned from that to always pay upfront only half of the price, because otherwise they can just take the money and do nothing. Yes, you can sign a contract. I wouldn't count on it too much, specifically because this is an international market. The sums are small enough that even if they break the contract, you're not as likely to go and sue them, and they know that. So just make sure to create a payment plan where you don't pay everything upfront. And I know most influencers don't intend to scam you, but the few that do kind of ruin it for everyone else, as with everything in life. Step number 5 is to sign, and this is kind of optional. You don't have to sign a contract, but you can sign a short waiver. We have like a 1.5 pages waiver that we sign with new influencers coming in, and this is mainly a way for you to create some sort of additional commitment between you two, but it's not a must. And if this is something you're just starting out with, you don't have the resources to create a contract, you don't have to. Just make sure there's some sort of email summarizing all of the things that you agreed on so that it's all written and documented. Lastly, the best step number 6, is to measure and repeat. Easy. So you want to make sure that when they publish any kind of content about you, they use either an affiliate link or a UTM link. This is a must. You want to measure the results you get. Otherwise, you're walking completely on blind. You don't know if they did well. So make sure that they have links that are affiliate links or UTM links that you can actually follow up on. So make sure you don't miss this step and they have the links that they need. Other than that, depends on what you're selling through influencers, tracking might be a little difficult. If you are doing e-commerce and you are working with TikTok influencers, it's relatively easy. Either you give them a discount code and then users using this discount code came from this influencer, or you give them a link that customers click and buy. When you're doing B2B and SaaS, it can be a little complicated. For example, we ran this TikTok influencers campaign for about 2 months. We saw the results coming in for these links, and it was basically almost nothing. Like few installs here and there. It felt like we were walking on neutral and we're not really getting the results we wanted. But then we sent out an email for about a week asking people how they found out about us, asking our existing customers how they found out about Reconvert. Surprisingly enough, a lot of them answered TikTok. So a lot of the times people would find out about Reconvert through TikTok, go to the App Store on Shopify, search for the app, and install it. So they would not show up in our tracking, but they in fact came from whatever influencer it is. So make sure that you actually track these things and find creative ways to track them. We can talk about that more later because there's actually a lot of things we're testing right now as far as tracking installs coming in through mobile and through social media. Let me know if that interests you, and once we finish some of these tests, we can definitely make a video about it and let you know what we learned. Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, you just want to make sure to use either Mixpanel or Google Analytics or something like that to track incoming traffic and know how well it works. Another really cool thing that one of our influencers did was tell her audience to create a TikTok, duet her TikTok with a TikTok of their own once they get their first sale through Reconvert, which is also really cool. It gave us an idea of who she sent our way, who actually installed, are they getting results, and it created more organic content. Really, really cool idea. So you can ask your influencers to help you do the tracking by asking their audience to engage, which is not bulletproof, but it's another indicator. If you want some more details and tactics on how to market your business for free, you can check it out here in this video. And if you don't want to, then this is what YouTube thinks you should watch. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.